Hi, everybody. Thank you very much. I always appreciate you. I'm Orlando Ruiz Jr. Welcome to another classic movie review. I'm talking about a comedy from 1985, a sequel to one of the great comedies of the 80s, National Lampoon's Vacation. This is National Lampoon's European Vacation from director Amy Heckerling, the director of Clueless, Fast Times at Ridgemont High, Look Who's Talking, Loser. Once again, Chevy Chase comes back as Clark Griswold along with his family. You got Beverly D'Angelo returning as Ellen Griswold. Each movie in this series is, of course, about a family vacation, and so, of course, you gotta have the Griswold kids coming back, with every movie always having different actors playing the Griswold kids. This time around, you have actress Dana Hill, who was in 1981's Fallen Angel, a made for TV movie where she played the victim of a pedophile. And in this movie, she plays Audrey Griswold. She's not my favorite Audrey Griswold, which I feel bad about saying since she very sadly passed away in 1992. Playing Audrey Griswold's brother in this movie, you got actor Jason Lively in the role of Rusty Griswold. Jason Lively just happens to be my personal favorite Rusty in the entire series. I think this version of Rusty is freaking hilarious. He has some very funny standout moments throughout the movie, and I really enjoy watching this actor. He didn't do a lot of acting into the 90s because I think he retired, but in the few things that I did see him in the 80s, I always enjoyed him. He's in one of my personal favorite 80s horror B movies, Night of the Creeps from 1986. That is a movie that I will get to eventually on this channel because that is a very fun time. And he's also in a movie from Roland Emmerich that's kind of a lost movie from 88 called Hollywood Monster. And he just happens to be the brother of Blake Lively, who we all know as Mrs. Deadpool. And he's also the brother of Robin Lively, who is in The Karate Kid Part 3 and a movie called Teen Witch. After very fun opening titles to the classic trademark song of this series, Holiday Roads, we get to see the Griswold family participating in a game show called Pig and the Poke, where the host is John Ashton from the classic Addams Family TV show from back in the day, the old black and white one. Of course, a lot of people don't know he was actually the dad of Sean Astin. So now the Griswolds are very excited. Well, more so the parents than the kids are, but thanks to their participation and their big win on the Pig and the Poke game show, the family has won a trip to Europe. And before they get on their way, we see the family having a little celebration barbecue at home in Chicago. We see Clark wearing a little Easter egg from the first film, a Wally World t-shirt, which is a very nice touch in the movie. And Audrey isn't all that happy about leaving because she has a boyfriend, Jack. It's a very small role and he's only in the movie briefly, but I do enjoy when Jack is on screen because he's played by William Zabka, Johnny Lawrence himself from The Karate Kid and Cobra Kai. And the same year he was in this, he was also in one of my favorite teen comedies, Just One of the Guys, playing that classic bully character that he was so good at playing. But he has some very funny lines as Jack the boyfriend because it's a kind of a running joke in the film that Audrey has kind of a problem with food in this movie. Now, that is not to say that I think eating disorders are funny in real life. I know I myself have a sweet tooth every now and then, and I have trouble knocking off the sweets. And so I can kind of relate to Audrey in that way. But this movie does have a running gag of her having an issue with food and pertaining to Jack's dialogue in the film regarding that. It just makes for some funny comedy. For me, it's always a lot of fun seeing Chevy Chase and Beverly D'Angelo in these movies together as one of my favorite on-screen couples, Clark and Ellen Griswold. I think the two of these actors always had great screen chemistry and they always play beautifully off of each other. I think that's very obvious in a scene where before their trip, they're getting ready for the trip and Ellen comes out of the shower and, they're just kind of playfully getting romantic with each other, and Clark has a video camera, and for fun, she does a little song and dance and a little kind of strip tease, get a little, ooh la la moment with each other, and he gets to film it, which he promises her he's going to erase it. Watching that scene, that's going to come back to bite Clark in the ass later on during the trip. But unlike the first movie where it was like one disaster after another, for the most part, the trip doesn't go all that badly for the first half of it. They actually get a lot done. They see a lot of sights. They go to London, they go to Paris, they go to Rome, they see the Colosseum, they go to the Louvre, they go to that Lambeth Bridge roundabout where they get stuck for a couple of hours. That's a pretty funny moment. Since Rusty Griswold is coming of age and becoming a young man, he's noticing the ladies a bit more in this one, which is pretty apparent early in the film when there's a scene where the family is on a plane on their way to Europe and everybody has their own little individual fantasy dream sequence about when they get to Europe and what they're going to experience. Of course, Ellen's is very romantic. Clark kind of dreams about being in the Sound of Music, kinda. You got Audrey dreaming about food, of course, but What does Rusty dream about? Girls, of course. Of course, the dad Clark can be a bit overbearing every now and then, a bit stifling, wanting his kids to wear matching hats at one point, which Rusty isn't too happy about. And the daughter Audrey won't stop bitching every now and then about missing her boyfriend Jack and wanting to get back home because she knows that Jack is going to be messing around on her. And every now and then you got Eric Idle from Monty Python popping up in this movie as a guy that's on a bicycle who keeps getting hit by the Griswolds. Kind of a running gag. Now, this being a National Lampoon's Vacation movie, you know that not everything is going to go completely all that well for the Griswold family. Every now and then they get quite a bit done in terms of how much sightseeing they get to do, but they really do have kind of one misfortune, misadventure after another. When they get to Paris, they get the smallest, most narrow little hotel room, kind of a nosebleed of a place, and it's only like one bathroom that they have to share with the entire floor, where we see a very funny little appearance by Robbie Coltrane. Everybody knows him as Hagrid from the Harry Potter movies. And then comes the moment where the family is tricked into stepping into a fountain with their shoes off just to have their camera stolen, their video camera with the tape that Clark made of Ellen and him with their little, ooh la la moment with her little stripping a bit. And, she's going to be pissed off because the tape is gone, but he assures her that he erased it. Or did he? I could tell you more, but I don't want to spoil it for those that haven't seen this. All I do want to say is I enjoy this series. I like all of these movies, some more than others. This one isn't my favorite, but it's not the worst in the series. I do enjoy it a lot. It's a lot of fun. Silly, goofy, good time. I give this movie 3 stars. Definitely check this out. You want to check out the first one in the series, though, since it is a comedy classic of the 80s and one of the best comedies ever. But once you get that first one out of the way, definitely check out the sequels. I do plan on talking about the third film, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, this December. If you want to check out this very funny sequel, I'm pretty sure that you can find this on streaming. Not that long ago, I noticed that all the movies in this series were on Max. Maybe they still are. Or if you want to find yourself a hard copy online, maybe you can. You know me, I'm going to have myself my hard copy because I'm a physical media kind of guy. Here is my copy of the film on DVD. And as you can see there, a pretty exaggerated likeness of everybody, and Chevy Chase looking quite buff, unusually buff here. But yeah, 1985's National Lampoon's European Vacation. Check it out. You'll have a good laugh. Thank you all very much for watching this classic movie review. I always appreciate it. If you're into movies, if you're into this kind of thing, if you're new to the channel, hit the bell. Please become a subscriber. Don't forget to comment, share, like. If you're a returning viewer, thank you very much for your support. I always appreciate you. Everybody take care of each other. Till next time, peace out and God bless.